there, boys and girls, and welcome to another week of Thursday Thoughts. I'm going to let you hear from Rue in a wee second, and I'm also going to, in this video, explain to you what our new series is going to be and what we're going to be doing over July and August, and then we're just going to get straight into starting that series today, and that'll all make sense in a little while. Rue is here though. He has been at Isaac and Lucy and Eli's house on his holidays this week. He's come back with his passport. Let's look inside, Rue, and see what you were up to. Whoa, they've said you were really good at their house. Were you really good? Oh my goodness. And he loved playing with all Eli's cars and diggers. And you slept in their beds, did you? I hope you didn't keep them up at night. And oh wow, and this is what this picture is. Look at this picture, boys and girls. You were on the bike with Lucy, wowee, and you've been doing 5Ks all the time for Sports Academy. My goodness me, you are coming back really fit and healthy. Well, thank you very much. And you escaped Pippa the dog. Excellent, because Pippa does like to eat lots of different things, so I'm glad Pippa didn't eat you. Did you and Pippa get on well? Isaac, Lucy, like, guess what? In the middle of the night, Rue and Pippa played games together when you were asleep. My goodness me, you are cheeky. Well, thank you so much to the balls for looking after him, and you'll find out soon if Rue appears at your door, and you can have him next. But listen, over this next little while, Rue, we're going to do something different, all right? What we're going to do is we're going to do a new series called The Biggest Story, okay? And what we've been doing is we've been looking at loads of different stories from the Bible, haven't we? We've done the prophets and we've done the kings, and we've been really busy learning loads and loads of new things, haven't we? Yeah, and we finished last week with who? Do you remember? Who was our King of Kings that we talked about last week? Jesus, that's right, we finished with Jesus last week, all right? And the thing is, all of those books that we were doing, or kings that we were doing, well, they were maybe a chapter each, or a book each, or maybe only a few verses each. But Jesus, he is through the whole Bible, okay? From start to finish, everything is about Jesus, all right? And we can sometimes miss that when we're doing lots of different stories. We can sometimes miss the big story, the whole Bible, and what it's all talking about. So over the summer, we're going to do a little bit of a timeline through the Bible, and we're going to see how it all fits together and how the big story all makes sense and all points to Jesus. How do you think that sounds? Yep, Rue's keen, he thinks that sounds good. And yeah, that's right, we've got a book that we're going to help us to do it. It's called The Biggest Story, all right? And if you want to, you could order this book, because we are going to be using it for the next 2 months. So if you don't have this book, then you could order it. Rue, it's probably Rue's favourite book, and he loves reading it. It's just little chapters that we're going to read together now, but Rue really has read this book about 10 times each, haven't you? Yep, Rue loves it. So Rue's going to sit up, maybe sit up on my shoulder, could you, so you can see how we're going to do this now. I'll just hold him here, alright? And Rue is going to listen to the story, and you guys can listen to the story. And what's going to happen is I'm going to read the story on a Thursday, okay? In our Thursday Thoughts, okay? And don't worry if you maybe don't get to see it on a Thursday, but as long as you watch this video and hear the story before Sunday morning. Because on Sunday mornings, they were going to try and understand this a little bit more and just make sure we all know what we've been talking about and what the story has been saying, okay? So Thursday Thoughts will be our story. Then on Sunday, we'll try and understand it more. And then maybe on a Monday, I'll post out some little discussion questions or activities or a prayer activity or something for you to do as a family that links to our story, okay? So Thursday Thoughts is now like Thursday story time, all right? And you need to watch it before Sunday, okay? Here we go. Once upon a time, there lived a man and a woman. They were the happiest people on earth. Do you see them over here? True, they were the only people on earth, but they were still terrifically happy. Their names were, do you know, Adam and Eve. And God made them. He made them in his image, little mirrors to reflect God's glory. And like everything else God made, he made them good. It was a wonderful time to be God's children in God's wonderful world. Oh dear, this doesn't look good. Unfortunately, we can get a little bit scared at these parts, so we hold him tight. Unfortunately, things didn't stay happy and wonderful for long. On one very bad day, Adam and Eve ate from the only tree God had declared off limits. Adam failed. It was a terrible day, the second worst day in the history of the world. A snake had tricked Adam and Eve and told them a lie about the fruit. He said they wouldn't be like God if they ate it. But actually, the opposite was true. When they ate the fruit, they found themselves far away from God. I think I maybe said that wrong. He said they would be like God if they ate it. But actually the opposite was true. When they ate the fruit, they found themselves far away from God. Okay? So the snake told them a lie. We don't like lies, sure we don't, Rui? No. Oh my goodness, look at this. They had disobeyed God's word and believed the lie of that devilish snake instead of the truth. Being near to God and having him draw near to us would not be easy any longer. God was not happy with Adam and Eve. He wasn't happy with the snake either. God put a curse on the man and the woman and the snake and everything else. He kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden. Paradise he had made for them. It wasn't possible for a people who were so bad to live with God who is so good. They had to go. So because of their sin, God said, you can't live in the garden anymore. But before they left, boys and girls, God made a promise. He promised that the evil serpent, the devil, would always be at war with Eve and her children. Now that doesn't sound like a very nice promise. Sure it doesn't, Rui? That's not a nice promise. That bad guys and good guys would fight all the time. Who wants to be at a war that never ends? But here's where the good part of the promise comes in. God promised that one of Eve's children would someday, eventually, sooner or later, crush the head of that nasty snake. Nobody knew when or how, but she would have a child to put things right. And that's it. We'll do chapter 2 next week. So that's chapter 1, that Adam and Eve did what God told them not to do, but the snake told them to do it. And because of that, they got kicked out of the garden. But God promised that one day he would crush the head of the snake. Do you see? one day he would make everything better. And hopefully as the story goes on, we see that happening. But boys and girls, that is our first story, and I need you to join us on Sunday morning for our live stream service, where we try and understand this a little bit more and make sure we know exactly what is happening here, alright? I'll see you on Sunday. You gonna say bye, Ray? Bye.
For me and you.